why did you see a specific need for these virtual reading sessions?
So I'm originally from Alamance County, born and raised. I find that most of the children's books that I see now don't feature children of color and they're not by authors of color. And so I think for our children, especially in my county, who are American Indian, African American, Hispanic, or Latino, it was important for them to see children that look like them, experiencing things that they experience, but also seeing these writers who look like them and who were able to take their love for reading and writing and turn it into something great.
What's the impact on the kids? I know they have to be like, man, like I can do this too.
And you can just see it like all over their faces. If they have the book to read along, or if they're just watching on the screen, it's like they are so glued to this concept, like it's brand new to them, to see characters that look like them or an author that looks like them.
Walk me through a program, like if somebody wanted to be a part of the virtual reading series.
It normally runs about 30 minutes. I do an introduction and I give a shout out to our co-sponsors. And then I do a literacy resource highlight, which are provided to me by Alamance Achieves. And so it's just different websites and apps that parents can use to help their kids with literacy. And then we go right into the bio of the reader, who's typically the author of the book, and then they read the book, and that's it.
Some students have been out of the classroom, and some parents were afraid that they would fall behind in certain areas. So what's the impact with the parents like?
So secretly, I think there are parents who watch without their children because they enjoy the stories. Some parents, it's giving them a break. They get to read a good book with us, or maybe they just let their child watch and they get to take a breather from having to be parent and teacher and everything else.
Wow, absolutely love
and listen,
that
we're sure the parents really appreciate that break. Oh yeah, I mean, it was great. She was a great interview, and we're sure that the parents really appreciate that break that she was talking about. The next virtual reading series is going to be held on April the 3rd. I have more on that at WFNYnews2.com shortly after the show. But just to speak on the power of representation, I mean, I remember, getting my clothes ready the night before, for school. Your parents used to make you do that. And hearing Sandra Hughes' voice in the morning, that's when I knew, it's time for me to get on my clothes and get ready to catch the bus, because I had to make sure I was at the bus stop. And later, just being at the same station, and that's happened numerous of times within my life, from radio stations, Terrence J on TV and things of that. So just the power of kids seeing somebody like that and seeing them, it does wonders, and not only just for them, but for their friends and their friends' friends that may not look like them. It brings everybody closer together when you know everybody's story.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more, Brian. And I love that she's making this available to everyone who wants to participate. I think that is such an important aspect of this story.
Absolutely is. And to touch on what Brian was saying about that representation, that is part of our mission here as well. I know Lauren, I know Maddie, I know Brian. We all want to be an example for someone that not only looks like us, maybe grew up in a situation like us, but someone that looks up to us. And I feel like that's the most important part, to be able to be that representation of a positive influence in someone else's life. And I think this is what this program is trying to incorporate.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Exposure is so important. As a young girl, I remember my parents making sure that I had books like that so I can be like that too when I grow up. So I think that that's definitely important to know that you could be anything you want to be. So I'm glad she's doing this program.